Welcome back. Today we're going over chapter 8 of Priscilla Presley's book, Softly as I Leave You. Priscilla says around this time that she joined the Dallas cast, the TV show, she started dating Marco Garibaldi. And a few months afterward, he had moved into her home. She says they were together for 22 years. What happened during the relationship? Why did the relationship end? I have no idea. She doesn't discuss it in this chapter. She only says they were together for 22 years. Not too long after Lisa Marie moved out into her own place when she was 18, Priscilla found out that she was pregnant. And she says she was thrilled. She never thought she'd have another kid. She said, unlike her pregnancy with Lisa Marie, where she felt like she was under a microscope because she was Elvis Presley's wife, this pregnancy was much more relaxed. Priscilla says she was concerned about telling Lisa Marie about the pregnancy because Lisa had always been really possessive of Priscilla, but Lisa was actually really excited to have a little brother or sister. Priscilla says Lisa asked her if she was going to marry Marco Garibaldi now, and would she still be a Presley? Would she keep her last name? And Priscilla says, and I'm going to quote her here, Priscilla says, quote, Lisa had always been concerned about me marrying again. The prospect of me taking a new last name bothered her. I assured her I wasn't, end quote. Priscilla said that she joyfully embraced the pregnancy and she read all the baby books. She wanted to give the baby the best and healthiest foods as she did with Lisa Marie, and that she wanted to shower her baby with all the love and care she had lavished on Lisa. She hid the pregnancy from the press for as long as she could. The wardrobe person at Dallas helped pick out outfits that would hide her growing belly. And she says most of the viewers didn't even learn that she was pregnant until the baby was announced in the press. Because she was so drugged up, the drugs when she gave birth to Lisa Marie, she was semi-conscious. She wanted to have a natural birth with this baby. She gave birth to her son, Navarone, on March 1st, 1987, and he was named after the movie Guns of Navarone. She was excited to have a boy and a girl. Priscilla would take Navarone to work with her, and she hired a nanny named Vicky to watch the baby while Priscilla was working on set. She credits Warner Brothers for being so forward-thinking in allowing their employees to bring kids to work. I guess that was not common back in the day. By the end of the 1988 season, Jenna Wade's role had played itself out. So, excuse me. So she ended up leaving the show, but she said she remained friends with the cast, and the parting was bittersweet, but now she got to spend time with her baby. Priscilla says she was not surprised when Lisa told her that Lisa and Danny were getting married. It was very clear that the two were in love, and that Lisa was eager to marry Danny, partly because she didn't want Danny to be unmarried. Lisa wanted to pretty much stake claim on Danny and have the ability to say, he's mine, go away, to any woman who might want to come in the picture. Essentially that Danny belonged to Lisa. Priscilla says she was happy for the two. Lisa and Danny got married at the Scientology Celebrity Center. She said it was a very small ceremony. There were 9 guests, and that Lisa Marie reminded Priscilla of an old-fashioned porcelain doll in her lovely traditional white dress of crocheted lace. She said she looked beautiful, and Lisa and Danny made a beautiful couple. Priscilla said that Danny was Lisa's first love and perhaps her only lasting love. He was there for Lisa for the rest of her life, even after the divorce. And he held Lisa in his arms when he found her lifeless body on the floor. Danny had promised to love Lisa until death did them part, and he kept that promise. Priscilla says that the same year that Danny and Lisa got married, a woman by the name of Deborah Presley emerged into their lives. Deborah's mother had told Deborah that her parents, Deborah's mom and Deborah's dad, were college sweethearts. But about 10 years after Elvis had passed away, Deborah's mom told her that Elvis was her father and that the pregnancy was the result of an affair when her mom was 14 years old. And so, believing her mom, she had her name legally changed to Presley. Deborah then filed a petition in court to asking for half of Elvis's estate. The court ruled against Deborah, but she continued to live her life as if she was Elvis Presley's child, and would periodically contact Lisa, which made Lisa uncomfortable. Deborah had even showed up at the hospital when Lisa was dying to try and see her sister, quote sister. Priscilla says she found that very disturbing. Priscilla said that Deborah was one of very many people who claimed to be Elvis's illegitimate child, but Priscilla always doubted them as as actual his children for several reasons. First, she says none of them ever actually produced any evidence that proved that they were his child, like DNA or any type of written evidence to back them up. She says another reason to doubt these people was because she knew how Elvis was. Like, yes, he fooled around with a lot of women, but very rarely, she said, would he go all the way. He was so terrified of having a baby with another woman. And she says that if he did indeed have another baby or have a baby with another woman, Elvis would have provided for that baby, whether he was with the child's mother or not. Priscilla said that she puts these types of people, the ones who are claiming to be Elvis's child or children, into two categories. One is what she calls the con artist. These are the ones that know for sure they are absolutely not Elvis's child, but they're looking for a payday or just some attention or some type of career advancement in being his child. The second group is who she calls the true believers. These are the people who truly, they believe that they are biologically Elvis's children based off of what their moms told them, or what Priscilla describes as, being Elvis's child fills some type of psychological need. Priscilla now shifts back into talking about her career. She says not too long after her role with Dallas ended, David and Jerry Zucker asked to meet with her, and they were interested in her being in their next film called The Naked Gun. She told them, "I'm not a comedian," and they said, "Don't worry about it. You don't have to be. We just want you to be yourself." And Priscilla says her agency told her that this would be a good opportunity, so she accepted the role. Priscilla says the first time she met Leslie Nielsen, who she'd never heard of before, he told her, "Let's sit down and have a talk." And when he sat in his chair, there was a very large, loud farting sound, and she felt so embarrassed for him until he started laughing and he picked up a whoopee cushion and showed her what it was. She describes Leslie Nielsen as good-humored, kind, professional, and very, very funny. She says she often had a hard time keeping a straight face while filming with him, especially with the scenes like her climbing up the library ladder in the first Naked Gun, or the time that they had to dress in full-body condoms. She said Leslie Nielsen passed away in 2010 and she misses him dearly. The third installment of the Naked Gun series that she was in, the villain was played by Robert Goulet. She says anyone who's familiar with Elvis knows that Elvis hated Robert Goulet. Elvis felt that Goulet's singing was not, there was no heart, it was all mechanical. So anytime Goulet was on the TV, singing or not, Elvis would shoot the television set. She says they went through a lot of TV sets that way. So in the movie, Goulet plays the bad guy opposite of Elvis's ex-wife. And during the movie, there's a scene where there's like a villains meeting, and one of the villains hands Goulet a newspaper. She says if you look closely, there's a nod to Elvis on the newspaper. There's a small headline that says, "Elvis spotted buying condo in Aspen." She says Elvis would have loved the Naked Gun movies, especially with Leslie Nielsen's performance, and he also would have been so proud of Priscilla for tackling her role in the movies as well. She says she can hear his laughter watching her in the full body condom scene. Priscilla ponders, though, if Goulet and Priscilla were on screen together, would Elvis have shot the television set? And she says she hopes not for her sake. Priscilla says that in the third movie, casting Anna Nicole Smith was a bit odd. Anna was known for her very big fake bosoms and that Anna Nicole Smith knew that they would draw attention. But Priscilla says on set, Anna's cleavage didn't inspire lust as much as incredulity. She says on set one day before the cameras were ready, Anna Nicole had put her arms around Leslie Nielsen. Her boobs were on his chest, and she began jumping up and down repeatedly, saying, "This is going to be so much fun," over and over again. Priscilla says the crew was just staring at the two and then staring at each other, thinking, "Oh, what the heck?" Leslie looked down at Anna's chest and then looked at everyone else, and his face had the look of, "Look at those," and "Save me." Priscilla says that sometimes Anna would bring her puppy to work, and one day she was outside of her trailer with the puppy, and the puppy began licking Anna's face and then went down to her neck, and Leslie asked Priscilla, "How low is that puppy going to go?" Priscilla said she never understood why Anna would do things like that, finding it sad that it was probably the only way she knew how to get attention. Anna passed away about 10 years afterward from a drug overdose, shortly after Anna had lost her son. And Priscilla says, "God rest her soul." Priscilla wraps up the chapter talking about how much she enjoyed working with the Zucker brothers and with Leslie Nielsen, adding it doesn't get much better than that, and that she's still looking for the address of that condo in Aspen. All right, that does it for chapter 8. Stay tuned for chapter 9. This is the chapter where Priscilla discusses the birth of her grandchildren, Riley and Benjamin, the end of Lisa Marie's marriage to Danny Keough, and her new son-in-law, Michael Jackson. See you then.